David from Fort Worth, good weekend at the Stockyards I saw there on social. David at Fort Worth said, I saw the hardest schedules. You talked about those last week. Now I need the easiest ones. You didn't have to yell, David. I mean, just calmly ask and I'll give it to you. What I want to do here is I want to point out one team per conference. I think that's a more agreeable way to do this. Let's start with a team not in a conference. Notre Dame's schedule is insanely soft this year, and I'm normally the one pushing back on people who say Notre Dame doesn't play anyone, because most of the time that's a lie. Most of the time people are just hating on Notre Dame. Notre Dame actually normally plays legitimate schedules. This is not one of those years. Now, part of this is USC, that game disappeared. So there is no USC on this schedule. Here's what is on this schedule. One team in the top 20 of the FanDuel odds to win the playoff. One. And that's Miami, and that's in November, and that's at home. Best we can tell, you got Miami, SMU, and Brigham Young on this schedule. Those are the only teams in like the top 40. And then there's this massive cliff. And it's just a bunch of Purdue's and Stanford's and Navy's and Boston College's and Syracuse's. It's ridiculously soft. To the point where I could see a debate if Notre Dame were to lose 2 games again. In fact, it wouldn't be a debate. They'd probably miss the playoff again. The exciting follow-up is I have Notre Dame rated number 1 right now in my preseason poll, and I don't think they're going to lose 2 games. So take that, haters. Next up, what about the Big Ten? I think Penn State. Penn State's probably who I would say has the easiest schedule in the Big Ten this year. There's no Ohio State, there's no Oregon, there's no Indiana. The out-of-conference is a complete joke. Marshall, Temple, and Buffalo. There's no back-to-back road game here. They get USC at home, and we are trying to figure out what the whiteout's going to be. No word on that yet. Unfortunately, I do not have the power to just dictate what the whiteout game is going to be, but that is a very workable schedule. And listen to November. At Washington's not easy. I will grant you that. But Purdue, Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland, those are the final 5 games they play. So I like Penn State's odds to sneak around the playoff bubble this year, even though it's year 1, and the ceiling of that team is probably well beneath that of national title caliber. But it's just, it may be a product of schedule in year 1. Vanderbilt, I guess, is where we go in the SEC. Quick 5-second timeout. Check and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It keeps it free. We love you. All right, back to the show. I've been one to hate on the schedule makers a time or two in my day. The SEC schedule maker this year, and I don't know if it's AI generated. I don't know if it's some dude whose name we don't know. I don't know if it's a whole cabal of people. They did a pretty good job of flattening out the easiest and hardest schedules in the SEC. Like everyone's really, really crunched together. The reason I chose Vanderbilt is their big out-of-conference game is NC State at home. So don't know what to expect from them necessarily, but there's a long stretch. Pretty much everyone only has 1 bye this year. So you're trying to find out where's the bye. And these teams are inevitably playing a chunk of like 7 or 8 games in a row at some point. Vandy, likewise, I think they play either 7 or 8 games in a row at one point. It's important to note that the last 2 teams on their long stretch are Arkansas and Kentucky. If you're picking teams out of the SEC, those are probably 2 of the 3 or 4 that you would pick if you could hand pick how to end your long stretch. Florida and Auburn are on this schedule. Those are total wildcard teams. They could win 9 games. They could win 5 games. If you're Vanderbilt, obviously you're hoping for the latter. So I'd go Vandy in the SEC. I thought about going NC State in the ACC because they don't play Miami or Louisville or Florida State. They don't play Notre Dame. Notre Dame plays 5 ACC teams. That's why I mentioned them. Their big out-of-conference games, UCLA. But NC State, that travel's not easy. And they end the season Cal. Cal was the one. So take everything I just said, and that applies to Cal. I landed on NC State because NC State's schedule, travel-wise, is not nearly as tough as Cal. So there you go. NC State, also no Miami. NC State, no SMU. Also no Notre Dame. We think they probably stand to have the quarterback edge in every game. I could make the argument C.J. Bailey has the edge quarterback-wise in every game they're going to play this year. They play back-to-back road games to end the year, but these are not long trips. It's Florida State and it's North Carolina for them. Side note, what does North Carolina look like by the end of the year? And then in the Big 12, this is very easy. Texas Tech is far and away the best program/team in the Big 12 right now, and they cannot play themselves. So you will not see Texas Tech on Texas Tech's schedule. Now, this is cutting-edge analysis that I'm giving you right now. But Texas Tech's got the softest, easiest, whatever you want to call it, schedule in the Big 12 because, number one, they don't play themselves, and number two, they don't play Brigham Young. I don't need to go any further than that. There could be some fine forensic analysis of this, like Pete Mundo and the guys who cover the Big 12. They could break this down further. I'm just telling you, there's no Texas Tech or Brigham Young on the schedule. That's going to qualify as the easiest schedule in the Big 12. Quick Trip is great. Quick Trip, one of the things that makes this country great. Now, I had to head out from Nashville and drive all the way to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I didn't have to. I got to. But anyway, we did that this past week. We went to the Broyles Award there. More on that later. And stopped at 3 quick trips on the way and 2 quick trips back. And it was a great time. Cold brew on tap every step of the way. Reasonably priced gasoline every step of the way. You know that they fueled the Fall Don't Lie tour this entire year. And the T-shirt commemorating said tour can be found right now at patestatematerial.com. Let me get out of the way there so you can see the beautiful graphic the guys made. Look, there are very few relationships between show and brand as the one that we have with Quick Trip. I'd go as far as to say it's almost romantic given the nature of this weekend. Almost romantic. I don't know legally if we can claim that, but we have a lot of fun with them. They're the presenting partner of the show. I don't know what more you can say. You really need to go to Quick Trip when you get an opportunity. Got bad news for you. There are no college football games this month. Now, the good news is, and I've confirmed this with SeatGeek, there are several concerts all over the country. I'm told basketball season is in full swing. Conference tournaments even around the corner. It'll eventually be March Madness time. You've got the NBA. All-Star game was electric the other night. My goodness. Whew. Going to go watch the replay again tonight. Nevertheless, look, there are some events that you may actually want to attend. Great. It's a great concert season, ladies and gentlemen. So go out there. Go see a play. Go see a comedy act. Go see a concert. But make sure you get the tickets at SeatGeek, and you may ask why. Why? Wait, is that a company you own? No, I don't own them. I just own a promo code for you. PATE10 at checkout. 10% off your order. PATE10. And look, if you want to go check out the Thunder, go check out the Thunder. Like, that's not on me. To each his and her own.